buddy, you can't close the door and then be upset that you're stuck in the room. I'm talking to my cat.
I call my cats Bubba. Like, dude, you came in here. You wanted this.
Yeah, my cat is 7 months old and will not sit still. So
Sounds like he needs to be kicked out of the house. He needs to be evicted.
he does need to be evicted. Whoa! Ding, 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 ding. We have a winner.
Ring a dong ding ding oh, blah 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 blah.
We have a winner. That's right.
Winner.
Welcome to the podcast, everybody. This is the Adventure Twins podcast. We're two twins who talk about one of our favorite show, Adventure Time. I'm Jacob.
I'm John.
And today we're going to talk about Season 1, Episode 12, Evicted. This episode was released on May 17th, 2010, written by Bert Yon and Sean Jimenez. In this episode, Finn and Jake have to find a new home after they are evicted by none other than Marceline, the Vampire Queen.
That's right. This is the first appearance of Marceline, other than the theme song. We do see her pretty early on in that. Marceline, if you're new to the show, welcome. Marceline is like one of the biggest characters in Adventure Time. I would say it's the five main characters are Finn, Jake, Princess Bubblegum, Ice King, and Marceline. Yeah. So I mean this is like a big deal that Marceline shows up.
Yeah, and it's weird. I didn't realize it took 12 episodes for her to show up.
Yeah, I thought it was a little earlier.
Yeah, this is episode 12. So, yeah, I mean, it starts kind of how you would expect for an episode about vampires. You get an exterior shot of the treehouse, and it's, raining, and it's spooky, and there's a storm, and Jake's telling Finn a spooky story in the candlelight about vampires, and yeah.
He's like, vampires aren't real. Of course they are, but Finn doesn't know that.
I like the use of jelly donuts for conveying blood. It's a good sort of way of getting past the censors. A little clever. I don't know if you noticed it.
When we made movies back in the day, we'd always use a bottle of ketchup. Mm-hmm. And so it became kind of our, movie calling card. It's every movie we made would have a bottle of ketchup in it somewhere. As our little nod that our blood was just a squirting ketchup straight out of the bottle. The one, what was it? Our Julius Caesar movie, the one where you the one shot is, we filmed everything, just the two of us on a tripod where we'd rubber band an iPhone to a tripod to film everything, which is awesome. And so the one is you take an actual machete and you try to stab it between my body and my arm. And in between that, my body and my arm, I'm holding the bottle of ketchup. So the idea is that you put the machete through me and I squeeze down on the ketchup. And so it squirts out from behind me. But it's like, here's a nice clean cut, and the blood comes out in a nice, perfect straight line like ketchup does.
What speed does ketchup come out of its bottle, John?
It's ketchup.
Ketchup. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, Marceline. I like how this episode starts as kind of like a horror episode, because there are a couple like horror episodes in Adventure Time. This one kind of gives up on that the second Marceline shows up, but it tries.
It's like you would watch this one and think, oh, this was like the Halloween episode, because like cartoons, would have. But like, no, this episode was released in the middle of May.
So, perfect time.
It's just it has a vampire in it.
Yeah, Marceline obviously goes on to be like a massive character. All this backstory, has her own like 8-episode arc with the stakes arc.
Oh yeah,
like one of the later seasons. I mean, Marceline's freaking huge. One of the only characters to change outfits.
Yeah. Her and PB change they're in different clothing.
They wear different clothes. They're like the only ones, and so there's a lot of. I mean, is it a spoiler to say she's a lesbian? I don't think so. Anyways, or bisexual. I don't know if that's a spoiler, but she is. But a lot of online I'm not saying for who. I'm just saying she is queer. Like, that's not like She is in this episode. But there's a lot of online thirst for her outfits. There's a lot of discourse online about people's favorite Marcy outfits.
I like how when Finn goes to sleep, he's in his little sleeping bag, and it's like his entire body is just shaped like a hot dog, except for a little hole for his face.
I feel like we used to do that in our sleeping bags, like at camp.
I wouldn't doubt that at all.
Yeah, we totally did that because it covers up your whole body and look like a worm.
Yeah.
Speaking of worms, I love the inchworms. That I just think they're neat.
And he's like, I told you to get off the bed.
Marceline she doesn't eat blood like a vampire. She eats the shade of red.
Yeah, I thought that was another, like, that's a cool idea. It also kind of gets past the censors for a show that's, like, G or whatever.
Yeah. I was watching this with Josie, and she's like, wait, they've kind of, like, stopped doing that, don't they? Because she's like, I don't remember them doing that much. And I'm like, yeah, you're kind of right. There's a few episodes.
I think in the next episode she's in.
Yeah, they do. And then there's the one where they're in a cave, and she's, like, about to go goblin mode, and they have to go find the big red ruby in the bottom of the cave, and turns out Finn's colorblind. Like, dude, that's an emerald.
I don't remember that.
It's a funny episode. I think that's like the last time you hear about the eating red thing. They just kind of doesn't matter.
I thought it was unique. I was like,
It's
oh,
funny.
she eats the
It's
shade
funny.
of red. That's kind of cool. I like when Finn goes to be like, Jake, I think I saw something out my window. And Jake's like, I made it up. But you said it was from a reliable source. Yeah, I made that up. And he's like doing a little dance. He's like, I was just trying to scare you. And he's just doing a little dance. I think it's cool.
I like Marceline takes these like tree nuts and crushes them into like colorful shapes and objects.
Yeah,
and
just
that
little
very
things, little fellas.
very smiling friends coded. Because
Yeah.
there's that one episode where they go to like that land made up of like weird like creature high color shapes.
Oh,
You remember that one?
Spanish. Yeah.
Spanish, yeah.
Yeah.
There's a song in this episode.
I know you have thoughts on songs in this show.
Yeah, we talked about that, and I think it was the Jiggler episode of the.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a true controversy. It's just me. I don't like the songs in Adventure Time. I actually like this one. I like this one oddly enough.
It is.
I don't think it takes itself seriously. I think that's why I like it.
It's definitely sung by Pendleton Ward.
Yes.
You can hear how similar it is to Lumpy Space Princess.
Yeah.
I like in the little... So hence the name of the episode, Evicted. Marceline comes in, kicks Finn and Jake out of their house, and I was like, oh, you see this M on the wall? It's my house. I've just been traveling and being cool everywhere else. Thanks for keeping it warm. Kicks him out of the house. And so they have to go find somewhere else to live because Jake is like, I'm not fighting a vampire. They can, like, kill us. And then there's a montage of them trying to find a new house, and Jake's, like, all optimistic about how cool house hunting is, and in this montage they keep just putting their feet into things like, oh, it's a birdhouse, and they just immediately stick their foot in it, or oh, it's a beehive, immediately stick their foot in it, and I'm like, all right.
I didn't even notice that. Yeah, they put the one foot in the door, literally.
Oh, there's a bit where they like, oh, what if we just go live inside this whale? And I'm like, oh, Flapjack coded.
Oh,
For fans of Marvelous Misadventures of Flapjack, they live inside a whale named Bubby.
Was it I thought it was the inside of like a giant shell, but the vibe in there is really cool, and there's a cool frog that lives in it. I thought that was kind of cool.
No, there's one where they live inside a shell, and I think one where they live inside a giant dead whale.
Oh, that might be. Yeah, I'm probably thinking two different things then.
Yeah. Unless I'm thinking of different things. There's a line in the song about, I think it says something like, fought that sexy vampire lady. I'm like, the song is acknowledging that we are, it's one of those like, are we supposed to find Marceline kind of, like, they make her cool, like, super, super cool. Like, she shows up and immediately just slides onto the couch and goes, what's up, guys? Yeah. It's
I had a crush on her as a kid, I'll admit it.
It's, Marceline is an early sort of, oh, are you into goth girls? Were you into Marceline?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, yeah, and that goes along with online. Like, there's a lot of people who really are into Marceline. Yeah.
She's voiced by... I did not write her name down, and I should have. Also voices Vanessa in Phineas and Ferb.
Oh, is that right?
who was another
Yes.
crush for a lot of young people growing up, and was
Yeah,
also the queer
yeah.
awakening for a lot of my friends.
Vanessa, really?
The number of friends I have who are like, yeah, I should have maybe realized I was a lesbian because of how big of a crush I had on Vanessa, and I'm like, yeah,
Yeah, I guess so.
yeah,
Yeah, I guess so.
yeah, I guess so. I like in
You
the
know,
song. There's a montage in the like song montage. Ice King shows up for like a little bit. And it's
Yes.
like, you know, the montage just makes the whole world feel all connected. Like they're all
Yeah.
still there. Ice King's still doing stuff. Yeah.
Officially on the soundtrack, I've listened to all 3 volumes of the Adventure Time soundtrack. It's a little weird. Officially, it's called the House Hunting Song, which is a very apt title because they are, in fact, hunting for houses. Do you notice in the song where the snail appears?
Yeah,
Twice?
there's a little shot of them like walking over the hill or something.
Yeah,
Snails
yeah.
there.
Yeah, it's right when the chorus hits Omar Saline. They're walking over a hill and you see the snail pop up. Kind of twice, actually.
Yeah. It's cool. It's cool.
And I like how Marcy's playing BMO in the song. I thought that was
Yeah.
pretty cool.
And have we still even seen BMO?
BMO's been in it, but we've not gotten, like, talking BMO, I don't
BMO hasn't
think.
actually spoken yet. BMO
I don't
is
think
still
we-
just
yeah.
video games, right?
Yeah, season... I was looking through what's left in season 1, and I know the episode where BMO first talks.
Yeah.
Conversation Parade.
Hell yeah. I like Jake's little song when they like float away in the ice, and Jake is so calm and like relaxed. He's both like actually afraid of vampires, which I like is kind of an ongoing thing in the show, is that Jake is always a little distrustful of vampires.
Yeah, you're right.
But he's otherwise like so laid back. It's like, oh, we got evicted, and he's just like, nah, that's all right. Hunting for houses is like the best thing ever. And then he like morphs himself into a cover to block Finn from the rain, and he's just like really low key and like, I don't know if it's one of these like, oh, he's being like the older brother and he's being very like strong and supportive of this, like, yeah, we just got kicked out of our house by a vampire, but
He's trying to say positive throughout it all. Throughout it all, probably. I like you mentioned he plays like a little song though on
Yeah.
his. It's a violin or viola. I can't remember.
he plays a viola.
viola, and he sings this like bluesy like home is a place.
Yeah, it's like 3 notes on a viola. Home is in a place where people care about you. It's fun.
It's fun.
Yeah,
So-
and then they go into a cave and they're like, oh, maybe we should just live here.
They go in, they throw a party, and that's where Tree Trunks shows up at the party, and Mr. Cupcake, and they're just throwing like this fun party in the
a bunch of
cave.
animals are there, and cave
Yeah,
animals.
they're having a good time,
They're
and
doing more
who owns
wiggle
the
arm
cave?
dancing like they do.
Who owns the cave? None other than Marceline owns that too.
Oh man, she owns everything apparently.
I wrote down in my notes, Marcy owning all the land. Well, if that isn't the current state of the country's real estate market, oh boy,
It's all owned
it'll
by
suck you
vampires.
dry.
Oh, hey now.
Oh,
Also, she plays the bass, which is cool.
that is pretty cool. My one note just says, "What the fuck is the ending?" I don't remember how this ends. You just watched it. How does it end?
Oh yeah.
How does it end?
So they're in the cave, and Finn eventually is just like, you know what, I'm not putting up with this, and so fights Marceline, who then turns into a giant bat monster. And Finn like actually goes after her, and she's like, "Ow, wait, that actually hurt." It's like, I thought we were just playing. Nah, you guys are cool though. You can have your house back. And then they get back home. And the worms,
The
have
worms
just taken over the
That's-
house.
The worms. Yeah.
It's a really weird ending. But back to the cave fight.
And another thing.
I really like the bat monster transformation. It feels somehow very in line with classical vampire lore of like oh no, they have like a beast version. They have beast mode. They went Mr. Beast.
Mr. B.
But I like that
I've
Marceline
never seen
keeps
Mr.
her
Beast.
she keeps her regular voice despite being like a big monster version. And even when she's trying to like make like blah noises, it's still just her going nah. And Jake goes after her and tries to attack, and he just gets very slightly spanked. And he almost seems
I
more,
noted the spanking.
He almost seems more hurt by getting very lightly spanked by a girl than he does by like actually getting kicked out of his house and beat up.
It definitely wasn't big fighting. I mean, it's literally just like a little tap on the tukish.
Yeah, it's not like a smack. It's just like a, hey, you watch out, just a little pat.
I think there's a cool fart sound that's made and everything.
Yeah, and then Jake goes after Marceline. And it reminded me of in the opening montage from like Monsters Inc. when all the monsters are like on their the first like scare floor montage, and you see all the monsters going in to scare the children. And there's that one dude with the wiggly arms, and he's like going into the door.
Oh yeah.
Arms. That's kind of what Jake does, who then immediately gets bit by Marceline.
They love their like wiggly arm animations. It's so funny to me.
Yeah. And there's the bit, I don't know if you wrote this down, where they're like, oh my god, but you killed Jake. And he goes, no, I just moved all my blood from my body into my finger at the last minute. And so like that part where we see him get all of the color sucked out of his body was him just moving. Like, oh no, I was alive the whole time. And like, what a stupid cop-out, but also it's hilarious. Marceline is playing these sort of mind games that Finn is just too young to understand.
Mm-hmm.
When
That's
Marceline
consistent
is like,
through the other episodes
like,
too with Marcy.
This was just playing. I wasn't actually trying to hurt you. And like, he is too young, Marcy. You don't need to like. I think
you don't need this.
You know what? Marceline can be very toxic, and I'm like, that is, I don't know. It's the whole like we were just playing, kind of things. I wasn't actually trying to hurt you. I'm like, he is too young to understand this. He doesn't understand this gaslighting that's going on here. These sort of mind games you play, he doesn't know. He doesn't get it. So
that, especially in the next Marceline episode, is very apparent because like she's clearly just messing with him the whole time.
Yeah.
It's pretty bad.
Women, huh?
No.
Vampires, huh?
Vampires suck. That I can get behind.
Well, no, there's the line in the song about like, Marceline, why are you so mean? And it's like, I'm just really old and I lost my moral code.
Yeah.
Like, that's really what it is, I think.
I'm not mean, I'm just 1,000-year-old. I've just lost track of my moral code.
Like, that's really where it lands.
Maybe it's a thing of, like, old people. Because you know how old people are just always grumpy about everything? Yeah, like Dad just always would be grumping at people now because he's, like, 50.
Maybe instead of women, it should be old people.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it's old people. Yeah, I mean, she's, it's just what's
youth
bringing
culture
her
forever.
joy at this point. Youth culture forever. It's just about what's bringing her joy, and that's messing with 12-year-olds, apparently.
She's bored because she's been around for 1,000 years now, and she's just like, here's something fun. I guess I can just mess with these guys, but they actually like put up a fight, and she's like, wait, they're actually kind of cool.
Yeah, you can have your house back as a gift from me. Blah. Blah.
I wrote that down a few times.
So I wrote down blah blah bleep blah bloop.
You always know what to say. Bleep blah 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 bloop.
But then he says it again as like no, Finn, don't get angry because Marceline took her home again. Remember? Blah blah bleep blah bloop. I'm like, you're so right, Jake. That's so
he
true.
always knows what to say. It's so true.
Blah blah bleep blah bloop. Yeah, super strange ending though. They get back to their home and it's just infested with those inchworms from the beginning. But then like a giant worm with a king's crown comes down and he actually like speaks English.
He's like, hey guys, what's going on?
Hey. And then he like uses his like weird hypnotism thing. It's super weird ending.
Totally
definitely
irrelevant.
Feels like one of those like they just needed an out. It feels like like it ends like it feels like Hypnotoad from Futurama.
It's a weird ending. They probably could have just ended it with like another dance party or something. But no,
honestly, that's how they should just end every episode. I do like the line though. Did you guys get on the bed? I told you you're not allowed. Like that, they're just like they know all the worms personally, like they're dogs or whatever.
Gosh, there's so many good episodes in the treehouse. The one where Jake's kid like rents out the house to other tenants and stuff. I remember that one being pretty funny.
Yeah, you're again. If you're talking past season 1, I have forgotten the episode.
Oh, really? Okay.
Well, not season 1 necessarily.
So you remember Jake has kids.
I remember like major plot points, but like specific episodes gone.
Okay. Any final thoughts on Marceline, the Vampire Queen?
How would Marceline rank in like a sort of like tier ranking of other famous vampires?
Well, let me think of all the vampires I can think of. Count Dracula. Um, Nosferatu.
The new Nosferatu.
Count Chocula.
Count Chocula, yeah.
Count Von Count from Sesame Street.
Right. I'll count him.
What's the one guy from Twilight?
Edward Cullen.
Edward.
There's probably more vampires in that series, right?
There's a couple.
There's
I've
probably
seen
a
most
couple.
of the first movie. Yeah. Marceline.
Is it Count Chocula?
I said Count Chocula. Yep.
Now, are we counting every version of Dracula? Because that's a lot.
No, let's just count the main one.
Nandor the
Christopher Lee.
Relentless.
Oh, golly. Guillermo, Gizmo.
Spoilers.
Laszlo.
Cravensworth. Nadia. Colin
Nadia-
Robinson.
Colin Robinson's my favorite.
I love Colin Robinson.
Nadia used to be Josie's favorite, and I liked her too, but her character got very selfish, and I started to not. Laszlo became one of my quick favorites.
Laszlo's, I just love Matt Berry.
Laszlo, have you listened to his album? He
No.
has like several albums out, like seven albums, and I listened to his last one. It's a cool like 60s, 70s like acid rock. It's very worth a listen. Actually, there's a lot of stuff on there I liked.
You truly are the most devious bastard
of New York City.
Have you seen the interview of him where someone just straight up asked him, why do you deliver lines like that? And he goes, oh, after like 7 or 8 takes of something, I'm just trying to entertain myself. So he just starts doing the weirdest, because he was like, if it makes me laugh when I'm saying it, it's just funny. And it's just like, we just got bored during takes and just started doing really weird readings of things, and a lot of them they just kept.
I was playing D&D, and we had to like disguise ourselves because we were going into like, enemy territory.
Yeah.
And so my disguise is, hello, I'm Jackie Daytona. I'm a normal
American
human person.
bartender.
Normal human person. I've got this toothpick here, and nobody got the bit. I think one person's like, oh yeah, I've heard of the show.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, come on, guys, come on.
Yeah, if you're listening to this podcast and you're not aware of what we do in the shadows, just a fantastic show. It's so funny. It's so fucking funny.
There was one season I did not care for. The first few seasons I liked a ton. There was one at 4 or 5 I didn't care for it.
You've seen the movie?
I've not seen the movie, and I've not seen the like new season that came out recently, like the final season. So I need to watch those.
Yeah, the movie's Dad has it on Vudu.
Yeah.
I have the DVD of it though, but
we have.
you don't have to watch the movie to know the show because they're set. Although the vampires from the movie do show up on the Council of Vampires in the show, or the Vampire Council.
The ones from the movie show up in the Vampire Council in the show.
Yes.
I like the Vampire Council in the show because it has any actor who's played a vampire. So you also got Blade, who's also in the tier ranking. Blade is freaking awesome. So Wesley Snipes' Blade.
Oh, he's like half vampire though, isn't he?
No. I think if you watch the movies, he's full vampire, but he has to like take a drug or something to prevent the vampire from taking effect, or something like that. Or maybe he has to. Have you seen the Blade movies?
No, I actually haven't.
Okay. I was talking with my comic book guy. They're all badass, except the third one sucks hardcore. The third one's so shit.
Blade
but the
Trinity,
first movie, I my letterbox review is like, if you asked a third grader to make the most badass thing they could think of, it would be this movie. It's so
Oh my God, have you seen The Crow?
No, I haven't seen The Crow yet.
The Crow is like, it feels like they got the vibes from the comic so wrong, because the comic is out here like, it opens comics by like each issue by like quoting fucking Joy Division, and so I'm like, it is hardcore emo core, and it's like the dude wrote the comic as a way to sort of mourn the death of his wife,
Oh,
or the death of his girlfriend or something like that.
it's like
And
Fun Home.
they made the movie and they were just like, fuck yeah, 9 Inch Nails.
Oh my God.
And like, it's still really cool and the movie's awesome, but it's like, how did you get the vibes polar opposite here, guys? It's still really cool. Apparently there's also a shit ton of sequels that are not any good. And also one that released last year, like a remake with one of the Skarsgårds, and apparently was terrible.
Yeah, I knew there was a newer one.
The original Crow movie with Brandon Lee is absolutely worth checking out. You'll notice a lot of shots of him are kind of filmed from the back, or a lot of his dialogue is kind of off screen. That is because Brandon Lee, the actor, was murdered, or well, not murdered. He was killed on set because of a prop gun malfunction.
Yes, I knew that.
The son of Bruce
piece of
Lee.
lore.
Yeah, but he.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, The Crow is fucking awesome. So definitely check that one out. It's like an hour and a half. It's not long.
You mentioned 9 Inch Nails, and my brain got stuck on what if Alvin and the Chipmunks did a cover of 9 Inch Nails? I have the Alvin and the Chipmunks.
I wanna fuck you like an animal.
I have the Beatles album, and it was so bad. I was like literally shaking in anger. Do what?
I farted. I'm sorry.
I didn't hear it.
I heard it.
Okay. I think your cat just fell over in the background.
What? No,
I was like he passed out from the fart smell. That was the joke.
Okay. No, he's pee on the end of the bed.
He got stinky dog farts.
Oh, you got me.
Speaking of stinky dog farts, Jake is a dog who's afraid of Marceline, the vampire queen.
Oh yeah, we should probably circle it back in. You have any closing thoughts?
No, but if you want more thoughts, or you want to hear our thoughts on other things, you can always reach out to us. One of those ways is over email, which we always forget to plug.
Yeah.
But reach us at adventuretwinspod@gmail.com.
You can also follow us on Instagram at adventuretwinspod. Drop us a message there. We post every time there's an episode. You can comment on that and be like, hey, I loved this episode, or hey, I disagree with your thoughts on vampires, or like, hey, you brought up a lot of academia surrounding the nature of work. Here are my thoughts on the nature of work, specifically citing several writers. You could do that if you're cool.
Yeah, well, that's cool on a Friday night.
That's what we're doing here.
You can also comment on our Spotify. We've gotten some comments out there. Thank you, Zach. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
So shout out. YouTube. There's a YouTube there too.
We have a YouTube channel. Yeah, you can find us at Adventure Twins Podcast. I think that's what we're called on YouTube. You can just find us there.
Yeah, we're like the only one. We're the only Adventure Time podcast out there. That's not true.
That's not true. There are other Adventure Time podcasts out there.
Several out there.
We are not the first, and we will not be the last, nor will we be remembered.
No.
Until we get sponsored.
Get us those stickers. We can hand them out at Comic-Cons.
Yeah, hell yeah. Anyway.
Adventure Twin.